Hello, everybody, and welcome. Hope you're all having a great day today. So, today has been quite something. Twitter has been on fire all day today because of something that occurred. And the something is Amberlynn Reed did a video saying that her and her girlfriend FALINE have broken up. At this current time, they are still living together, but they will be moving out and away from each other. But Amber did her video. She was very upset. She was crying and talking about the breakup. It's been all over Twitter all day. And so I wanted to react to Amber's video as well as the comments to that video because the comment section really had a lot to say to Amber and about Amber and this breakup and the relationship. And the comments were pretty amazing, enough that I think that everybody should see them and know about them. So we're going to go over the stuff that I found on Twitter in relation to that, the video itself, the comments, the video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's just start with the stuff on Twitter. There's not a whole lot. We'll go over the little bit that there is. Okay, so there's my Twitter. For those who would like to join me on Twitter, it's Wild Girl Sarah. Okay, so Persephone says, what do they expect though? Living in a life solely in four walls, no adventures, no vacations, no trips to see family, nothing. Being in a relationship with someone like ALR or FB can't be easy. It can't be fulfilling like a regular relationship. It's got to take a toll on you. So there's the video in question. There's a snapshot from the video saying we broke up. As you can see, Amber is not a happy camper at all. I have to agree with this person. Someone living with someone like Foodie Beauty or Amber, it's got to take a lot out of you. You know, both ladies have a myriad of problems that extend well past their weight. It's a lot of work to take on. And you're basically a full-time caretaker. So unless it's a position that you want and you're ready for, it can be absolutely overwhelming. Book Lady says, remember in the beginning when FALINE wanted to help Amber lose weight and be healthy? At some point, reality sets in, and she would have to realize Amber does not want to change. Well, I have said many times in my reacts to Foodie that Foodie's problem with food is way over her head. It's way over Salah's head. It's way over the heads of her family. It's so severe that she needs professional help. She needs to be locked down and an inpatient. And I feel that Amber might be in the same situation. You can't just tell someone who's got a problem with food, don't eat, or cut down your portions, or lock up the fridge or the pantry and expect that's going to solve the problem. It absolutely isn't. So someone like FALINE coming in and saying, I'm going to help you. I'm going to make you completely better. I'm going to cure you. Well, that's not going to get it done. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of therapy. It's going to take a lot of determination and work to even halfway fix the situation. So maybe you tried a little bit, FALINE, but you're up against someone like Amber and you're up against all this stuff she's got going on in her head that she's just not wanting to break through that wall. Oh, this is from Lisa, take it or leave it, says, I think FALINE, wifey, always wanted multiple partners and ALR wasn't down. ALR backing out of WLS reminds me of that moment when I realized my ex-husband was not interested in getting well. I was like, your road is no longer my road. Yeah, at some point, if you're dealing with somebody, they've got problems, you might have that point where you look at the situation and say, well, they are on their path and I am on my path. And how hard do I want my journey to be by holding on to someone that's not interested in being better? So I get that point of view, Lisa. If somebody is on a path that is not healthy and they're not trying to make it healthy, they're not trying to get better, you just sometimes have to make that decision to take care of yourself. Perfectly Imperfect says, so is Shay going to live with Amber until Amber is able to get a new girlfriend off the internet? Will she force her to share a bed due to her quote unquote trauma? Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, see, that's the thing about Amber. She doesn't know how to be alone. She and Foodie have that in common. They just don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to be independent and be on their own for a while. They have to have somebody around. And usually, whoever that person is, it's not just about being in a love relationship. That person takes on the role of caretaker, doing things for them and cleaning for them and going to get things. So it's not just a love relationship, it's a pretty much another job. It's a full-time job caring for either one of those ladies. And Amber and Chantal wonder why they can't keep people around. It's because you're not just looking for love, you're looking for somebody that you can love, but it will basically work for free. You want someone to do the duties of a caretaker and a gopher and a nurse and a maid and everything else. And you don't want to pay these people. You just want them to be around and do all these things and exhaust themselves. This is from Kelly. This is a clip from the video that I'm going to review. So, Amberlynn Reed, why is FALINE sick of your crap and your lies? Let's watch.
I know what I deserve. Even though sometimes I act like I hate myself, like I act like it. There's a part of me that cares. And I care about FALINE as well. It's like she deserves the fucking world. And it's like I could only give her a part of it.
I don't know what you mean when you say I can only give her a part of it. Are you referring to your lack of mobility? So if you are aware that you can only give her part of her happiness, again, I'm not sure if you're referring to your mobility, or I've heard that FALINE, there's something about polyamory that I've heard. Maybe you're referring to that. I'm not exactly clear. But something for you, Amber. No person I ever met was ever happy with just a part of happiness or half of happiness. Usually we look for lives where we can have 100% happiness. That goes for you, that goes for FALINE, that goes for anybody. We all look for total happiness. We don't want just a slice, we don't want a little bit. If you get involved in a relationship, you're never going to be content with just 25% of being happy part of the time, or 50% or 75%. You want to be with someone that you look at them and say, this is my partner. I am 100% happy with them. I am very content and I'm very satisfied. And I don't know if that's the kind of relationship you and FALINE had, but obviously there were some things lacking there. And that's why you guys are breaking up. Maybe you were just too much for her to take. Maybe it was just, you're just too much to deal with. You gave her too much to do. There's too many responsibilities that went beyond just loving you and caring for you and being supportive. Maybe you just wore her completely out and she just had enough. We'll find out when we watch the video. So how about a little palate cleanser before we go? Why you should have animals, fish. Are we on TV? This little puffer fish is like, hey, let me on camera. And the diver's like, what? The diver's freaking out and the fish is being completely chill. Like, hey, there's a camera here. Hey, I'm ready for my close up. Let me in. Who knew that puffer fish were like puppies? They just want to play. Okay, what else we got here? Future Becky says, why would Amberlynn think anyone would be happy hanging out in an apartment with an overgrown toddler 24/7? Like, everybody's got a different idea of happiness and contentment. And obviously, FALINE was not happy just just hanging out all the time. She wants to go out. She wants to do things. And let's see. Uh, a couple are from Miss Milk Tea. Milk Tea says she has said mutual 3 times in about the first minute, and I don't know. No, I don't know. Not sure. I believe it. When did she say they were moving? That would be happening if they hadn't already decided. Also, ALR can't do alone. We're going to see a new person in the mix really fast. Yeah, because she needs a caretaker. She needs a caretaker, much like Foodie. Foodie needs a live-in caretaker, but she's not going to pay a professional person to do all the duties. She's looking for someone that she can just essentially just have there full time to kind of save on some money. So, we're going to basically finagle a relationship and turn that person into a caretaker to save some money. Also, for Milk Tea, while we broke up doesn't matter. It happened though. This is not how ALR operates. I haven't followed her a lot, but if she doesn't want to say the reason, it's something that reflects badly on her. I'll be interested to see what comes out once she gets over the initial emotion. Yeah, given Amber's personality, if it were FALINE's fault, if FALINE did something bad, I'm sure she'd be really quick to say what it was. But if it's something that has to do with Amber and Amber is at fault, of course she's going to just not talk about it. She's going to try to make up some other reason. So is this all for the Amber stuff? I think it is. I think that's it for Twitter. So let's go ahead and go to the video. And you know what? The video is not that long. It's not even 11 minutes long. And I was reading the comments section, and there's a lot of amazing comments from people on this video. So why don't we just start with that first? Nicole says, it's hard to be with someone who refuses to truly take care of themselves. That's true. Whether you are in a one-person relationship or a 3-person relationship, if you're looking for a lifetime partner of sorts, then you're looking for a partner for a lifetime. You invest your emotions and your time and your thoughts and your energy into somebody, and you're doing it on the premise of, I'm going to have this person in my life for a long time. But if you're looking at somebody who's supposed to be your partner and they are not healthy, nor does it seem like they want to get healthy, it might put you off from investing your emotions into that person or thinking of them as someone that you're going to have around until, the day you die. So Amber, she's 30 years old and she wants a girlfriend. She wants someone to be there for her and love her. But yet, Amber, you're not really inspiring thoughts of you being the kind of person that you are taking care of yourself and you're going to be around for a long, long time. And you wonder why people pull away from you. You're not really inspiring the thought of, I care about myself, I love myself, I'm improving myself, and I'm going to last for a long time, and it's okay and it's safe to fall in love with me. Shelby says, let's be real. This wasn't love. Being a caretaker from the beginning of a relationship to someone who is only doing that destruction to themselves is not a relationship built on solid ground. Agreed. 2 people getting to know each other is hard enough. Like just regular love is hard enough. Just opening yourself up to that person and them opening up to you and spending regular time together. That a lot goes into that. But then you add the aspect of one of the people in the relationship, their health is so bad, their mobility is so bad that whoever you are entering into that situation, you're not only going to have to take care of their emotional needs, but their physical needs as well. It's heavy duty stuff. It's serious. You're asking whoever your partner is to be a full-time nurse, caretaker, maid, cook, all of it. They're wearing a lot of hats they really shouldn't be wearing. In the case of Amber, she's 30 years old and she's getting progressively worse. And as she gets worse, whoever she picks to be her partner, her roommate, it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work. And she's not even trying to help herself get in a position where she can do more things for herself, to where the other person, whoever she picks, won't have to do as much. Everybody's got their breaking point, Amber. Everybody. If you approach somebody and you're instantly putting demands on them and responsibilities, it can get overwhelming, and sometimes they'll run or they'll reach their breaking point where they say, that's enough. I've had it. I've absolutely had it. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I'm walking away from this thing. Some Ophiel says, you always say your breakups are mutual, and they never are. It's okay. Love yourself for a while. Be alone. It would benefit her to be alone. She needs some alone time. She needs to figure out who she is and what she's doing and get her head straight, versus I need a girlfriend. I need someone around. I can't do it on my own. I can't be alone. She needs to learn how to be alone. Because if you're not content with your own company, how can you expect other people to be content with you? You've got to have that moment of just take a breath. Don't jump into a relationship. Don't do the rebound thing. Just take care of you and get yourself together. Sometimes being alone is a good thing. If you're in a place where, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, you're messed up, it's better to be alone and straighten all that out than jump into a relationship and then part of your focus goes on the other person. Shauna says, girl, I'm sorry you're struggling, but I call BS on the mutual. Be independent, work on yourself. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that in the comments. Work on yourself. Don't hop into another relationship. Big mistake. Let's see if she actually listens, though. KT says, let's be real, Amber. It wasn't mutual. I don't blame her for wanting to leave you. You're getting to the point where you were before you met her, when you couldn't even shower or get off the mattress on the floor. And you can deny it all you want, but we see it. You don't want to help yourself. You don't want to better yourself to save your life. You can't expect her to give up her life to take care of you because you don't want to change. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Amber. I really haven't kept up with her content on the regular. I've been trying to keep up with Foodie Beauty. So Foodie's had pretty much all of my focus. And I've always found Amber to be a little bit boring. But it would seem like Amber, I'm a bit confused. Help me. You had a partner. Uh, you have the time, you have the resources, you have the energy to get healthy. Why were you backsliding? What's going on there, girl? Why were you backsliding so badly? You can't even say I was alone and I was lonely and I didn't have anybody. You had somebody there to talk to and to interact with and to love, and yet you backslid. So I'm just curious as to why. Like, what caused that? Like it seems like it's a lose-lose for you. If you're with somebody, you're going to backslide. If you're alone, you're going to backslide. So what is the winning combination here? Like, what is going to make you push forward versus go backwards? Here, this comment, I love it. Lar says, you can't be a good partner to someone until you're a good partner to yourself. With that being said, I'm sure you'll find a new caretaker quickly. It's really sad that she's put herself physically in such a position that whoever she gets with they pretty much have to be her caretaker. They can't just be friend or girlfriend. They got to be full-time nurse and full-time caretaker. They have to wear a lot more hats than just the girlfriend who comes in and gives them a kiss on the cheek and maybe does a load of dishes in the sink. They got to do so much just to be with her. And it's a lot of stuff you're putting on somebody, Amber. You really need to fix that. Everybody in the comments are telling her to not jump into another relationship. Schrodinger's says, you always say it's mutual. It never is. Maybe if you stop trying to have control over everything, this wouldn't happen so much. Take this opportunity and learn who you are and what you can do to be better, healthier, happy. It's now or never. Just do it. Murga says, so happy we can all officially admit what we all believed from the very start, that the cute nicknames, love bombing, talk of marriage from day one, etc., was really only there to cover the fact that this relationship was purely transactional. Well, I'm not in their house. I'm not going to judge, but when you are someone and you're with somebody and you are expecting way too much out of them, it's doomed to fail from day one. So let's go on to the actual video. Let's get on with that. Let's see what Miss Amber has to say.
So I don't know if I'm gonna regret this, but I don't know. It's like a little video diary. But FALINE and I have broken up. It was mutual. I have a freaking headphone thing in. It was mutual, and
I don't know if she's telling the truth, but given Amber is someone that she needs someone constantly around, and she knows that, I seriously doubt it was mutual. Seriously doubt that. Because if it was mutual, why would she be upset right now? If it was just two adult women sitting down and talking and saying, look, we've reached an impasse and we know that. Let's just agree that this isn't working anymore and move on. Then both parties would just accept things calmly and there wouldn't be so much sadness. So the fact that she's sitting here sad lets me know that she's not completely telling the truth. She needs someone around because, she physically can't do some things for herself. I think FALINE wanted to go, or maybe she just reached a point where she just couldn't take anymore. She'd had enough. She got fed up. She said, I'm leaving, and Amber could not convince her to stay.
Like, I'm wearing the same thing I was wearing yesterday. Like, I did have makeup. Like, I have cried it all off completely. I can't stop crying. I feel like I'm mourning, like, a death. Like, knowing that one day, like, I'm just gonna wake up and she's not there. It's a different type of pain because, like, I envisioned my whole future with her, and I know she did the same, and this was mutual. There has, like, I'm gonna speak for myself. There has been some things that just, like, I don't have to go into detail. Love just isn't enough sometimes. And
well, I will say this for you, Amber. A broken heart sucks. Anybody who's ever been in a relationship with someone that they loved, and then for whatever reason it ends, whether it ends nicely or not nicely, it still sucks and it still hurts a lot. And depending on how long the relationship went on for and how serious it was and how deep the feelings were, is how much hurt you are experiencing after it's over. Now, I don't know about all your relationships. I've not been with you all your life. I just know about the relationships that you have put on YouTube that we know about. The relationships you've had with Destiny, with Becky, and now with FALINE. And although you have three different women that you've been with, the common denominator is you. And in all those relationships, you had your problems, you had your issues, food being one of them. And those issues were never worked out. And all the relationships ended up the same way. So maybe now might be a good time to look at that and say, you know, I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm seeing a pattern of getting into relationships with lots of baggage and lots of issues and just hauling all that stuff in like a house full of junk and cluttering up the space. And things become not so fun after a while. And then it all ends. And maybe I should break the pattern and the cycle by doing something different. And the something different is taking care of myself. I got to take care of myself. I've got to improve myself. I've got to work through all my issues and resolve them, including your issue with food. You know, you want to be around people, you want to be in relationships, but you put yourself in a position where you literally can't do very much. You can't go anywhere. You're 30 years old and you need a caretaker because you physically cannot do a lot. You need someone around to do simple things. But if you took care of yourself, you'd be able to do more, not just for yourself, but if you want to get into a relationship that would open up so many doors of things you could do with your partner. You could go places, you could do things, you could have more fun. You might even be able to travel. You could make some good memories. But the longer you let your issues go on, the more you're stuck in this toxic cycle of the same old, and the same old endings that happen later.
I know what I'm worth. And I know it might not be like a lot to some people, but I know like what I deserve and I know what I want. And I just need to be single. I literally have. Oh, my head hurts so bad. Sorry. I have done nothing but literally cry and cry and cry and cry for the last like 24 hours. This happened literally before fireworks last night. I don't know what to say. Like, I know there's probably going to be a lot of people questioning and saying you seem so happy. And yeah, like the relationship I had with FALINE was literally the most passionate relationship I've ever been in. But
You know, I'm just going to go on record, Amber. I haven't watched you a whole lot, but I'm of the belief watching your interactions with Destiny, with Becky, and although FALINE stayed off camera a lot, just the energy that you have with all three women, I'm of the belief that the one that you still yearn for, the one that you had the most love for, was for Destiny. Whether or not the two of you were good together does not matter. I mean, that was your first real love. That was the one that got away. And everybody else that came after her was just a replacement for Destiny. But she's gone. You're not going to get her back. And you just used everybody else as a replacement because you need someone to look after you. But your heart has always been with Destiny.
on both sides of the spectrum, on both sides. And I just, she's my best friend. And it's like she wants to help me with this move. I will be moving. She will be moving. We have a timeline of when that's going to be happening. And I just look around at everything and It's like I look over in my kitchen and I'm like, that's the first place she kissed me.
That's an odd place for a first kiss, but okay.
But then there's also probably a bad memory in that same spot. You know, it's like not everything is perfect behind the scenes. Honestly, it doesn't even matter why we broke up. It's personal and we both have our own reasons, but she's my other half of my heart and I'm the other half of hers. But we can't be in a relationship. I just don't even know what to say. Like, I just got off the phone with my mom and talked to her because I just needed someone.
You said something a few minutes ago that was really true, Amber. You said love isn't enough. You're right. Love is not enough. Just having pure emotion, no matter how powerful it may feel, it is not enough. You got to take care of yourself. You've got to have goals. You've got to have dreams. You've got to be independent. You've got to do for yourself, because it is absolutely unfair to be someone and you're approaching another person with the viewpoint of, I care about you and I expect you not only to care about me emotionally, but you have to be around me 24/7 to take care of me physically, emotionally, mentally. You got to be there all the time for everything. Not only are you going to be my partner, you got to clean for me, cook for me, drive me around. You got to be at my beck and call all the time. And I can't be without you. That's entirely too much. That is suffocating. That is sucking the life force out of another person. You're making your partner tired. You're making them exhausted. You're stopping them from doing things that they want to do and experiencing life. And some people may be okay with that for a while, and then they're not. And then some people aren't okay with it at all. But if you're someone and you are throwing a bunch of baggage at somebody, a lot of work, and saying, you have to deal with this while you're with me, not just for a little while, but forever. Even for the person who decides, I'm going to take all that on, I'm going to carry all that weight. Eventually they get tired and they just don't want to carry it anymore. They can't carry it anymore. It's just too much. At that point, you become a burden, and all of your luggage becomes a burden. So the smartest thing for you to do is to learn how to be alone and take care of yourself and lighten up the baggage that comes with you as much as possible. Being alone is not a bad thing. If you got a lot of issues, it is the perfect time to work all that stuff out, because you don't have another person you have to worry about but you. You can look at yourself, you can, reflect on who you are, what you really want. This might be a good time to refocus and start over and get yourself together in every way. This might be a good time. If you rebound, though, if you bring somebody else in, you're never going to get it together. You're going to redirect all that energy to another person and forget about yourself.
Needed someone that isn't her, because FALINE is my best friend and I'm her best friend, and it's like, it's kind of hard.
Now, I'm going to say something about that. If a person is your best friend, and if you love your best friend, if you care about that person, even on a friend level, not so much of a intimate love relationship level, if you love a friend, you don't hit them with 1,000 pounds of weight and saying, here, carry this for me. Just keep carrying it And oh, here's another 1,000 pounds. Oh, wait, here's another 1,000 in the corner. What kind of a friend does that? You care about your friends. You don't overload your friends and expect them to not have a life because you've decided you don't want to have one. That you just want to give up on life and just let yourself go. If you want to let yourself go, that is entirely your decision, Amber. It's your life. You can do what you will with it. But other people, they want to go out in the world. They want to experience things. They want to be happy. They have their own interests. They have their own hobbies. And if you are a person, you should respect the fact that other people want to go out and live. And their idea of living goes beyond sitting in a house, just watching TV or going on YouTube and making videos. Everybody has the right to be free and experience things.
Hard to cry to the person that you're losing, even though FALINE and I both have been crying literally all day. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen her cry this much. And even just calling her FALINE is so hard because Bambi and FALINE, like, it's not a thing anymore. I also think, like, I'm partially in shock. I don't know. It's like, how do I go on? I literally just feel.
Do you see the way you're thinking right now? Look, if this breakup just happened, I get it. Maybe your mind is spinning. Maybe you're in shock. Maybe you're just not fully processing it yet. But do you hear what just came out of your mouth? You said, "How do I go on?" I'm kind of taking that as you saying, like, how can I do this by myself? How do I go on without this other person? And that's kind of normal. We all have that thought. How can I go on? Like, where do I go from here? I'm used to having this person in my life and now they're gone and there's this big empty space where they were once were. And it's just going to feel weird and strange and sad. So on the emotional level, I get it. But if you're taking the point of view of, I can't do this, I can't live on my own, I need somebody around, do you see how you're setting yourself up for failure? Because if you're with somebody and you're happy with somebody and your point of view is, I can't be happy alone, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because if you find happiness alone, independently, then that's happiness you'll be able to keep no matter what happens. But if your way of thinking is, I have to have somebody around all the time, taking care of me, or else I just can't live, then you're using the other person as a crutch for your happiness. But it's not happiness that you know for certain you can keep. Does that make sense? If you learn to be happy alone, no one can ever take that from you. If you learn to stand on your own, nobody will be able to take that from you. But just having the point of view, I have to have somebody here, it's a slippery slope.
Like something I've always experienced is like when I experience heartbreak, I feel it physically. Like it physically feels like I've lost like a limb or I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like I was hit by a truck a million times over, just repeatedly, over and over and over. Like I just feel like I can't live without her, but I know that I have to because it's just like I know what I deserve. Even though sometimes I act like I hate myself, like I act like it. There's a part of me that cares.
I'm going to say something true to you, Amber. You're on the inside looking out, whereas other people have the point of view of on the outside looking in. I compare it to this situation. You're in the fire and you're burning. You have that point of view. You're in the fire, you're looking out towards everybody else circled around you, watching you burn. And we are outside, we are looking at you burning in the fire. The two different points of view of the same situation. You're on a downward spiral with your health. So when I say you're burning, that's what I mean, not like actually burning in flame. But you are in a whirlpool of your own making, a spiral of your own making, and it's scary to see. It's really scary. And you've got to understand that when you're on the outside of that whirlpool, you're standing at the edge of it. If you're someone connected to somebody who is in the center of that whirlpool, you may say to yourself, I don't want to get sucked down too. Especially if you've been on the inside center with that person and you feel the effects of it. And then you decide, I want to step out. I don't want to get negatively affected in some way. I got to step out for my own benefit, for my own health, for my own well being. You're in the center of that whirlpool. And you've got to get yourself out. And anybody that comes to you, that is connected to you, whether you realize it or not, it's not just you that is negatively affected by what you do and what you say. They're affected too. And sometimes people make the decision they don't want to be hurt anymore by you. And they step out before they get sucked all the way down the drain. So instead of just standing in the center of that whirlpool, how about put an end to it? How about take care of yourself? Get yourself together. It's time. It is time to do this. Turn this thing completely around. Get into therapy. Get your health together. Start to lose weight. Like really, really refocus and focus on yourself. That's what needs to happen. You got two possible paths here. You're at the crossroads. Either A, you're going to take this situation and you're going to turn it into a positive, or B, you're going to turn it into an absolute negative. You have a problem with food. Everybody knows that. Either you're going to stop this problem from getting worse, or it is going to get worse. Because you and I both know there's nothing like heartbreak that's going to invite B moments into your life. I urge you not to eat your feelings. They may get overwhelming. Don't eat them. Trust me. They don't taste good. Negative emotions do not taste good going down your throat. Don't swallow your broken heart. Turn this into a positive thing. Or at least try.
And I care about FALINE as well. It's like she deserves the fucking world. And it's like I could only give her a part of it. I could only give her a part of it when I want to give her the whole thing. And by breaking up, you know what? I kind of am. I don't want to shower. I don't want to do anything. I kind of just want to eat. I just want to eat. I just want to turn to food. I want to numb it out.
Personal experience, Amber, from me to you. You could eat every bit of food in the world. It's not going to make anything better. Trust me, it won't. You can clear out an entire grocery store of food and eat every bit of it. The problems won't go away. The heartbreak won't be any more numbed out. So don't go down that road either. All you're going to do is make yourself more unhealthy. So don't go there and don't do that. Okay? Just don't do it. Don't use this thing of I broke up with my girlfriend as a reason to go ham with the food. As it is right now, you are super, super morbidly obese and you have a myriad of health problems. You have so little mobility. You are literally carrying your own personal, private, custom built prison cell attached to your body. Because of being at the size that you are, you can't do much. You can't go places. You can't be happy. So why not make that prison cell smaller? Why not make yourself happier and to where your body is not a prison cell of your own making, to where it's just your body and you can use it to go do things and experience life. Don't escape into food because there is no escape. Given your problem with food, you should know that by now, that food is not a true escape. Using food to escape, that's like being in a little room by yourself, and then you're trying to use food as a distraction. And all you're doing for just half a minute is creating a room that connects to the first room. And you walk into that separate room and you stand there for a minute. And then after you're done eating, you walk back into the original room, but you're not really free of anything. You're just going into a different room. Here's the thing. If you want to escape from the pain, you are the architect of that pain. And you also have the key to get out of that room. It's always been in your hand. All you got to do is use it. It's going to take some time, a lot of hard work. If you really focus, stop being stupid, but you created the pain, you can also get rid of it. So do that. Stop escaping using the wrong means and start creating a true way out that makes sense.
I'm just lost. Because, like I said, I don't know who I am. And I'm just ready to be single. And I'm going to be living on my own. And I don't want to say where. I don't want to say when. But as much as YouTube has, like, drastically fucked with me in my life, it is also...
Wait a minute. Are you trying to blame YouTube for this? Is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to say that YouTube is overtaking your life? That YouTube is partially to blame for this? No, it ain't. If that's what you're trying to do, YouTube is not to blame for your issues. You are to blame for your issues. See, this is where you need some personal growth. This is where accountability should step in and introduce itself to you, and you should make acquaintances with it. All your problems are of your own design, Amber. Every single last one of them. You should feel blessed. You're on YouTube. You can make videos. You can make money doing videos. What you chose to do with that money was up to you the entire time. Nobody forced you to use the money to hurt yourself with food. That's something that you did. And you continue to do. Here's what's sad. The money you make on YouTube, you can turn that into a positive thing. You've got time, you've got energy, you've got resources. You could do so much good to help yourself and better your health. You could turn this whole doggone thing around if you wanted to, but you've got to really want it. Instead of just play acting at it and putting out the act of, I'm going to do something. No, I'm not going to do something. You know, the people in your personal life, Obviously, they're being affected by your choices, by your attitude, by the fact that you don't want to help yourself. You want to continue your toxic habits, and they get to a point where they just can't take it anymore and they walk away. So recognize the pattern here. You've had 3 different women in your life. You had Destiny, you had Becky, and now FALINE. And the only common denominator between those ladies was you. Look at yourself. Self-reflect on yourself.
Been one of the most amazing things that I am so grateful for. And it's like, for me, just talking and talking and talking is so therapeutic. And it helps me understand myself. I know a lot of people aren't like that. They're not an open book. But YouTube has been there for me for a decade, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
I have to wonder if, I don't know exactly why her and FALINE broke up. There's been all kinds of speculation about what happened. People are saying maybe the details might be revealed later. Maybe she's not ready to talk about it. Maybe she never will talk about it. Maybe it was something to do with her, and that's why she's not coming forward with the exact reason. But if YouTube was a factor, if maybe FALINE was just thinking, this YouTube thing with Amber, it's not a good thing. It's making her unhealthy. And it's something she's never going to let go of. And she's going to continue to be unhealthy. Maybe I need to step out and step away from the situation. I would understand that. Maybe FALINE thought that she could change Amber or help Amber get healthier. And then she figured out, no, this is not going to happen. Because this is a very complex situation, a very complex person. It's way over my head. I've done all I can. I tried. I was supportive. But obviously, she needs more than that. I mean, I get it. You get overwhelmed, and then you get to a point where you're tired, and you just have to make a decision about what's best for you. We all have to do what's best for us. We got to think of ourselves first before we can consider another person. Especially in situations like this, where you got a person who's just, like I said, in the middle of a whirlpool, and the closer you get, the more chance you get of being sucked all the way down with them.
So I want to document, everything to the best of my ability. Obviously, I'm not going to share everything, the real personal stuff, because why we broke up, it doesn't matter. It happened though. And I have to move on. I have to move forward. And so does she. And it feels like a nightmare. It feels like an absolute nightmare. But I know that it has to happen. And I have to keep reminding myself of that it has to happen. And I have to keep a healthy distance from her, because she's still trying to hug me and stuff like that. And I have to tell her, I can't, it hurts too bad. And in the past, I didn't want my ex to not sleep in the bed with me, but I don't want her in the bed with me. And I slept without her last night, and it was horrible. I have very, very, very bad abandonment issues. This is due to childhood shit. I have been abandoned. I was abandoned during the time of your life when you shouldn't be. So I have a lot of fears that are irrational, but also very rational. I hate sleeping alone. I hate it more than anything, but I know that I have to detach myself from certain things. And I have to be strong. I have to do this.
It sounds like you got some stuff, a lot of serious stuff that needs to be talked about in therapy and worked out in therapy. If you have abandonment issues, it sounds like stuff that needs to be addressed in therapy as best you can. Even if you didn't have the abandonment issues, you don't like to be alone, and you've been with FALINE for a while. And yeah, it's going to feel weird and it's going to feel sad to sleep by yourself, because if you bring someone into your life, and especially if they live with you, you get used to so many things. You get accustomed to so many things with another person, with the way they look and the way they smile and the way they smell and their laugh and certain routines that they do with you, certain rituals, so many thousands of different details. And then when that person is gone, there are these little empty holes all over your life that they once filled up. And it's just a very painful readjustment period. And that's why some people do the rebound thing, because they just don't want to go through that period of being alone and very sad. You know, you're just looking to fill up the empty holes and stop the sadness from continuing. But I would like to say something to you, Amber. And I don't know if you'll ever watch my video, but here's something to think about. You said that you have abandonment issues, right? Let's turn that inside out for a minute. Have you ever considered, with your abandonment issues, that you've abandoned yourself? You really have. You abandoned yourself. You have abandonment issues with other people, but you abandoned yourself a long time ago. You let go of yourself. You don't care about yourself. You are not really fully committed to taking care of you. You abandon yourself and you were looking for someone to take care of you, when you should take care of yourself first. You should put yourself first and ask yourself, what makes me happy? What can I do to make myself happier and healthier and better as a person overall? With or without a partner, I got to be happy for me first. I got to be healthy for me first. Having that attitude does not make you selfish. It just means you want to be the best you can be. And if you are the best you that you can be, that means whoever you hang around, whether it's on a platonic level or not platonic level, they can be happier with you too. But by being the best you can be, it's a win-win. You can be happy alone or with another person. And you're not bringing 10,000 pounds of baggage into a relationship saying, hi, here I am. I got all this stuff. I got all this junk and spam and clutter. Now you, new person, you have to deal with it, and giving them more work than what they ever needed to do just to be with you. By being the best you can be and taking care of your stuff, it just feels better for you, and it makes the relationship so much easier.
It's freaking hard. It's terrifying. The unknown, everything that I have to do, all the I's I have to dot, all the T's I have to cross just to get to my destination. And I mean that like physically, but also figuratively, metaphorically, whatever it may be. It's just there's so much. And I don't know, I just feel really freaking lost right now. And I need a shoulder. I need a shoulder to cry on. But I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody here. Kentucky's not for me. It never has been for me.
Yeah, speaking of that, something interesting that I found out. So I don't really follow Destiny, but I've heard that I've heard that Destiny is going to be making a trip to Kentucky. I wonder why that is. It's kind of strange, the timing of all of this. So Amber and FALINE are breaking up, and Destiny was planning a trip to Kentucky. And as I mentioned earlier, I feel, my opinion, that of all the women that Amber has been with, Destiny was her most intense love. Like she was really, really, really wrapped around Destiny far more than she ever was wrapped around Becky or FALINE. I think she was with FALINE and she was with Becky just because she couldn't be with Destiny. But Destiny is the one that she really, really wanted. If you go back to the history of her channel and you watch the old videos of her and Destiny, there was so much more interaction. There was so much more love and affection than either with FALINE or Becky. I'm not throwing shade at either FALINE or Becky. It's just you can tell the difference. Destiny is the one you really, really wanted, Amber. But maybe you're just too much to handle right now. Maybe with all your baggage and all your issues that you have not worked out, and the issues and the baggage are getting worse and they're getting heavier, it just overwhelms people. Maybe the lesson to be taken from all of this is you have a lot of work to do. And you can either choose to get started on that work and get it done, or you can just stay in the middle of the whirlpool. And anybody that wants to get near you, wants to be with you, they're going to reach that point where they get overwhelmed and they dip out. And so that pattern of, being with somebody, break up, being with somebody, break up, that's going to continue until you get the work done. So just take that perspective that maybe life is just trying to give you a signal that if you want something different, if you want to have a partner, you have to have a really good relationship with yourself. You got to take care of yourself. You can't avoid all the issues anymore. You've got to do the work to get the reward. You can't just hit somebody with 1,000,000 pounds of weight and say, carry it for me. Be completely focused on me and not on yourself. You can't throw a bunch of weight at somebody and expect them to be happy and not feel suffocated and tired and exhausted. You can't do that. Everybody has their breaking point. Everybody. You're having a breaking point now with your emotions, but you got to realize that, you're not just looking for a girlfriend or a lover. You're looking for someone to carry all of your weight. Right now, in a position where you are a burden to whoever you get with, you're a tremendous burden. So I urge you to work on yourself, to not be a burden, to just be a person, a happy, healthy person. And you will have more to give, not just the person that you choose to have in your life after this, but you can offer something back. Maybe you can help somebody with their problems or offer advice because you're not in that position right now.
I came here for somebody, stayed here for somebody, and then was stuck here with somebody. All three different people. And now I get to be free. And that's wild. That's wild. I don't know, you guys. I'll keep you updated, but that's kind of all I have for now. I'm gonna go cry in a pillow or something.
So that was the video from Amber. Yes, her heart is broken. She's very sad right now. Anybody who's been through a relationship and it ends, it's always really, really sad. It always hurts like nothing else. And I'm wondering how she's going to deal with this. I'm wondering if she's going to turn to food and make that her comfort. And I'm telling you, Amber, don't do it. Don't do it. No matter how much it tempts you, stay away from that. Because that is not a source of true comfort. It's not a source of true relief from the pain you're feeling. You stay away from that. It's not going to make anything any better. It's just going to make things worse. Filling up your stomach is not going to mend your broken heart. It just won't. None of that food is going to reach your heart. Stay away from it. Consider this a crossroads moment. You can go one way or you can go the other. If you go the right way, you'll come out a winner on the other side. If you go the other way, it's just going to make everything so much worse. You get to pick which path you walk. Pick the right path. You've been walking down the wrong path way too long. It's time to fix that. Don't you think? It's up to you. So that's it for this React video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day, y'all. Bye-bye.